Back in September, the Colts dominated their first matchup against the Jaguars. Can Jacksonville avoid the sweep? The answer comes your way next on Madden Football.
Smack dab in the middle of I-295 that encircles the city of Jacksonville in northeast Florida. There's a good look at TIAA Bank Field. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Now Lawrence. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Lawrence's throw taken in by Shark. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big connection on that one. 31 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Buying time to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw there complete to Myers.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Marvin Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. the touchdown here, Santos, to kick this one away. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So now the Colts will get their first opportunity with the football. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes.
Right.
So there's a lot of good that he did, but he's got to take care of the ball better. The ball has to go to guys wearing the jerseys that they're wearing this week, not the opposition.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 122 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Back to throw here. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. First and 10, Taylor now. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
These two teams met in Indy earlier in the year with the Colts coming out on top. So a win here in Jacksonville would give them the season series. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars 37. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. Touchdown, Colts. Michael Pittman, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think that was a pretty good read right there. They caught him in zone defense and went to the hitch. And because they're in zone, that creates a natural space between the defenders and the receiver, able to get it to him quickly and let him get upfield.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. On to punt, Jamie Gillen. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. This defense for the Jags, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
These two teams all tied after one. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And some room to maneuver. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play there on the screen pass. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He'll get this one to Pittman. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of it.
Touchdown! That's caught at the 2. Riley Ridley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts have taken the lead.
Man, he just ran a terrific route. Extremely hard to defend when it's run that precisely and the ball's delivered that accurately.
Blankenship out for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville offense ready to go back to work. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Throwing again on 2nd down. Lawrence. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Quiddy Pay in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On 3rd down, Lawrence. He finds Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Oh, that's a big let-off there on 3rd down, because you've got to account for the running back coming out of the backfield. They didn't, and they got burned, not just for a 1st down, but for big yardage as well.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence. Incomplete.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw here. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
The Colts on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 9. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. They'll try the left side with Taylor. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to find Mo Alley Cox, his tight end, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And he's got room. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A throw for Pittman is intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Jags are going to have it here just past the 25. On first down, Lawrence. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And this one will be brought back to the 22. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. 7 yards, the pickup there. 2nd and 3. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Oh, he's got his tight end, Mo Alley-Cox, complete. And the Colts are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They'll look to run with Taylor. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Again, it'll be Taylor. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal. Rodrigo Blankenship for the Colts field goal. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. Blankenship's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Kicks it on the ground with a squib, taken around the 28. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where it was the visiting Titans who were able to walk away with the road victory. Ryan Tannehill leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head north to Minnesota. Check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. Darnell Mooney, a touchdown reception. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Check on the Patriots. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting Dolphins. The Pats locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. On now to a look at the next-gen stats for the Colts in that first half. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Both these teams running through their final adjustments before they head out of the locker room. We're just about set for the second half. And to bring it your way, let's go back upstate to Jacksonville. And Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. So here are the Colts to take over. They were losers a week ago to Tennessee, but they're on top right now as they come up here first and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Flush to his right. Throw right side caught by Ridley. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 63 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. And it's caught. Touchdown, Colts. Paris Campbell, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Colts take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. What a great drive that was. A long drive, sustained, well executed.
I love what we're seeing out of him here in year 2, right? This young quarterback continues to evolve and grow. He's really the adage right now that John Wooden, the famous basketball coach, used to say. Be quick, but don't hurry. You can see that everything is happening for him, but he's not taking it at a pace that he can't sustain.
Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taken at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. Finding time. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards. On 1st down, Robinson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Here's Robinson again on 2nd down. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14. Lawrence will throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
You know that they were thinking second half comeback here. That's a big miss if they want to have a chance at that comeback.
A very big miss because time is becoming a real factor now, and they're 3 scores down.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They go to the ground again with Taylor. Oh, he bowls over him. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 78 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. The coverage unit out there thinking pass on 3rd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace.
And shutting him off, now open field. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Let's go!
Well, Jonathan Taylor, like most guys from Wisconsin, he's not one to shy away from contact. He proved it right there. They'll look to throw here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Blankenship's kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
Come on, fellas. First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. Third quarter action from Jacksonville. Throw left side complete. That's Arnold. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. On the return, it's Rodgers. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he stopped immediately there. DeJuan Smoot there to bring him down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
On play action, they'll throw. Being chased out left. He's to the 10 and down to the 7-yard line.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on 2nd down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
Yeah, they've thrown for 3 touchdown passes. Now here, I think they probably go back to the air.
Yeah, I think so, but ordinarily, 2nd down is when you run your play fake, your play action, show run, and throw the ball. Now they brought up 3rd down.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Josh Allen in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Blankenship's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Lawrence. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Arnold. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws. Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. He'll find ETN out of the backfield. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. And oh, it'll be intercepted. picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And the Colts are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, I guess an interception at this point on fourth down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there, and he winds up giving the ball away.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An even 100 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Back to throw here. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Indianapolis, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they will try to get back in the swing